I knew that if I was going to ask audiences to come back and give me their time again, I wanted to make sure that I made it a worthwhile experience, not just a simple retread or continuation of the first, but something brand new and fresh and exciting. And so we've entered this brand new world, this world of this very glamorous pop star. She's this major public figure who, it has to be always on, always performing, always playing this character that people expect her to be, and yet the human being, the person behind that velvet rope, is quite vulnerable and in a really fraught state of emotion, and it's a really powerful place to start for a Smile film. I mean, Naomi, like you said, force of nature. I mean, she is just unstoppable. She has that gravitas, that X factor of a pop star, but is capable of these incredibly raw human moments that are, really, really impactful and emotional. And then, she happens to be this fantastic singer. She sings all the original songs in the film. She performs the choreography. She was the perfect storm for this character of Sky Riley. There's connective tissue between the two, for sure. I mean, Smile 2 has Smile coursing through its DNA, no question, but it also has its own identity, its own metabolism, as I like to think of it. And it benefits seeing the first one, but it also is telling a complete story with a new character. Smiles, of course, they're friendly, they're warm, they're inviting, and to turn that on its head was quite delicious and sinister. But for me, really, what I was going for is that I'm interested in how we employ smiles. I think people wear smiles as masks. We sort of try to project something outwardly that might not represent what we're feeling on the inside. We hide our true feelings with a smile. And to me, that was really interesting and sort of where all this started. This movie is a ride. It is very intense. It's off the rails. It's bigger. It's bloodier. It's nastier. You're going to scream. You're going to laugh. I hope you're going to love it.
Working with Parker's great. I think he's incredibly talented. I mean, he's a really, really good writer. He's very smart with the way he sets up shots. He's really good at communicating what he wants from his actors. I feel very taken care of working under Parker. He's really, really just, I think, one of the kind of best working directors right now. It's just a totally different animal. It's bigger, it's louder, it's more intense than the first one. I think Parker's just really pushed the limits on this one from the first to the second. She really embodies the character, and it's a big role, and I think it's some big shoes to fill. I mean, jumping from the first film to the second, I mean, Sosie was so incredible in the first movie that I think finding somebody who can really kind of stand next to that performance and do her thing as well is really important. And I think she did it, and I think you have two really powerful performances in the franchise. I think you're just gonna have a lot of fun at the movies.
Well, Parker's a genius because the first Smile, you took the premise all the way to the end. Where do you go from there? And he manages to take you to a different place where you have more of an immersive experience as the viewer, where you're really deciding what the fate of this person is that I want to have happen. And it's really amazing. It's really uncomfortable. It's a tough watch. It beats you up, but it's worth it. He's incredible. I mean, I think he's one of the most talented people around. He loves it. He's a dork very fondly. And he communicates everything that you need to know, and I'm happy that I literally just had to show up most days and smile, and that I had the last shot most days, and I was just hanging out with him, and I got to see how he works, so I'm beyond blessed to be a part of this, and I can't be more happy. It is, unfortunately, my own smile. Yeah, that's the way my face looks. One of the actors, one of the background actors came up to me and was like, I love watching you work, man. You got a terrifying face. And I was like, thank you. I appreciate that, yeah.
I love this project. We really did put our blood, sweat, and tears into this one. I was a fan of Parker. I was a fan of the first movie, particularly how he really prioritized his character. As you said, his movies really hinge on the character, and for an actor, that's wonderful because it's a character piece. I mean, you take away the horror, it is just kind of could play as a straight drama, and I think that's what was so exciting for me. Parker he's such a collaborator. He's so intense in the best way. Like, he really lives and breathes it, and he pushes you and gets the best that you can give. He really pushes you to it, and it was really a trust exercise in terms of, I felt like when we first met, it was supposed to be like a 30-minute meeting, and it lasted like 2.5 hours. And it felt like from that moment we were partners, and that never changed. And I think that's something that I'm also really proud of, is that we remained that trust intact, especially with how intense this process was. I feel proud of the fact that that we still are, partners in crime. I mean, it's everything you loved about the first movie, but just like times 100. It's and with pop infused into it, injected into it. It's unhinged. It's a roller coaster. I genuinely really love watching it. I don't know what that says about me because I'm in the movie, but I just love what Parker. Listen, I like what Parker does in the movie. I love it, and I hope other people will too.